Welcome to Learn English Through Story. Today's story is inspired by the world-famous book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is not a copy of the book, but a simplified and emotional retelling of its core ideas. You'll learn about money, mindset, and life in simple English, perfect for listening and practice. Let's begin. Once there was a boy named Kevin. He was just 10 years old, full of questions and curiosity. He lived in a small town with his mother and father. His father was a teacher at a local school. He worked hard every day and always told Kevin, "Study well, get good grades, and find a secure job. That's the way to succeed." Kevin respected his father. He was a kind and honest man, but they never had enough money. The family lived in a small house. Vacations were rare. Bills were always a worry. His father often said, "We can't afford that." But Kevin had a best friend named Sam, and Sam's father was very different. Sam's dad was not highly educated. He didn't go to college, but he owned several businesses and had many people working for him. He wasn't home much, but when he was, he would speak about money, ideas, and opportunity. One day, Kevin asked Sam, "Why does your dad always talk about money?" "My dad never does." Sam replied, "My dad says money is something we all use, but no one teaches us how to manage it. He calls it the biggest mistake in school." This idea stayed in Kevin's mind. He was confused. One father believed in education and jobs. The other believed in business and money skills. Who was right? One Saturday, Kevin gathered the courage to ask Sam's dad a question. "Sir, can you teach me how to be rich like you?" The man smiled and said, "Are you ready to learn something that your school will never teach?" Kevin nodded. "Good," he said. "Then first, you must learn the difference between working for money and having money work for you." Kevin didn't understand. "What do you mean?" The man explained, "Most people spend their lives working hard at jobs. They trade time for money. That's what your dad does. He is a good man, but he is stuck in a cycle. Work, earn, spend. Repeat. He doesn't build wealth. He builds a salary." Kevin asked, "What's the other way?" The man replied, "Wealthy people build assets. Things that make money while they sleep. Businesses, investments, real estate. Things that grow in value. That's how the rich get richer." It was the first time Kevin heard this idea, and it changed him. He began spending weekends at Sam's house, learning. He swept floors in one of the shops, helped with simple tasks, and listened carefully when the adults talked. Sam's dad would say things like, "Don't say I can't afford it. Say, how can I afford it?" Fear keeps people poor. Fear of losing. Fear of failing. The more you learn about money, the less it controls you. Kevin noticed something else too. His real dad was always tired and worried. But Sam's dad, even though he worked hard, seemed excited and free. He was always planning, always building something new. Kevin wanted that freedom. One day, Kevin's dad found out about his visits. He wasn't happy. "Why are you wasting time in those shops?" he asked. "Focus on your studies. That's the only way to succeed." Kevin tried to explain, "Dad, I want to learn about money too. I want to be smart like you, but also rich like Sam's dad." His father was silent. Then he said, "Money is dangerous. It changes people. We are not rich, but we are honest. That's what matters." Kevin felt torn between two voices. One said, "Be safe. Study. Work." The other said, "Take risks. Learn. Build." He didn't want to choose one father over the other. He wanted to learn from both. And so he did. He kept studying at school. But after class, he read books on business, watched videos about investing, and helped Sam's dad whenever he could. He started saving pocket money, not for toys, but to invest. At age 15, Kevin used his savings to buy and sell secondhand books at school. It wasn't a big business, but it gave him profit. He felt proud. He wasn't just working for money anymore. He was using his mind to create value. His teacher laughed and said, "Books are not for selling, Kevin. They are for reading." But Kevin thought, why not both? By the time he turned 18, Kevin understood something powerful. Your job gives you money, but your financial education gives you freedom. Kevin was now a young adult. At 21, he had just finished university. Most of his classmates were looking for jobs. Some were confused, others were excited. But Kevin had a different mindset. He remembered what Sam's dad once told him. Don't just chase a job, chase freedom. So while others prepared resumes, Kevin prepared a plan. He worked a part-time job, just enough to cover basic expenses. But most of his energy went into learning about money. Every evening, he read books on investing. Every weekend, he visited small businesses to see how they worked. He didn't have a lot of money, but he had time, and he used it to grow his mind. One day, he saw a small food cart for sale in his neighborhood. It was old, not very clean, but the location was good, near a college. Most people walked past it. But Kevin saw opportunity. He used his savings and bought it. He cleaned it, painted it, gave it a new name, Campus Bites. He hired a local woman to run it. In the first month, profit was small. But Kevin kept improving the menu, adding deals, and using social media for promotion. In 6 months, he had doubled the earnings. People asked, "Did your parents give you money?" He smiled and said, "No. My 2 dads gave me ideas." That small cart became 2, then 3. And by age 24, Kevin was running a team of 5 people. He still lived simply, still read daily. But now he had something more valuable than comfort. He had control over his time. One night, he sat with his real dad. His father was older now, still teaching, still tired. He looked at Kevin and said, "I didn't understand what you were doing before. I thought money would change you, but it didn't. You've grown wiser." Kevin replied, "You gave me values, Dad. You taught me discipline. I only added the financial education." His father nodded slowly. "I was afraid of money, but maybe I should have been afraid of not understanding it." Later that year, Kevin met Sam again. They hadn't seen each other in a long time. Sam was working in a corporate office, earning a good salary, but he looked stressed. "I earn well," Sam said, "but I feel stuck. I wait for the weekend. I wait for a bonus. I wait for a vacation. I feel like I'm always waiting." Kevin understood. He remembered something both of his fathers taught him in different ways. If you don't control money, it controls you. Being rich is not about having money. It's about having choices. Kevin invited Sam to join one of his new projects, a local co-working cafe. It was a place for students, artists, and freelancers. A place to work, connect, and learn about money too. Kevin didn't just want to make profit anymore. He wanted to teach others. At the cafe, he hosted simple workshops on financial literacy. What is an asset? How to save wisely? What is compound interest? Why rich people invest before they spend? People loved it. They said, "Why didn't we learn this in school?" Kevin smiled. "That's what I asked when I was 10. As years passed, Kevin became financially free. Not because he earned millions, but because his assets paid for his needs. He didn't fear losing a job. He didn't wait for retirement. He lived with purpose and peace. But he never forgot his 2 dads. From one, he learned honesty, education, and hard work. From the other, he learned risk, confidence, and how to grow money. He didn't choose one over the other. He combined both. And that, he believed, was the real secret. Moral of the story: schools teach how to earn a living, but we must teach ourselves how to build a life. A job gives income, But financial education gives freedom. So don't just work for money. Make money work for you. Learn, act, build. And remember, it's not too late to start.